Hello, welcome to the Critical Obsession podcast. My name is Mirella,
And I'm Zoe.
and today we're going to react to the official trailer of 1000 Years Old. It's a
Yes,
vampire series, right?
vampire. It's
Ooh.
really funny too because I don't know why, but like I remember hearing about this one around the same time we found out about Golden Blood, and I should have looked it up, but the Bomb Prem one that they're doing, that Wabi Sabi are doing. This one was
Mhm.
also one that was mentioned around the same time. And I don't know why, but at the time I was sure it was like a Korean one, but it's not. It's another Thai one. So that's three Thai vampire BLs. There's at least maybe one or two. I was sure that there was either a Japanese or a Korean one, and I feel like Taiwanese one as well. So it'd be interesting to see if there's others besides the three that we kind of know about. Because that will definitely make 2024 the year of the vampire BL. I mean, there has been a
What the
couple, I think.
hell happened? How did they decide? I mean, it's genius, of course. Of course, we're going to consume all this. But
Yeah.
how? Why? And how did
Well,
they all decide to do this at the same time? All the
it's
different companies.
yeah, it's interesting too. It's like, do they have like like a summit meeting where they discuss potential themes? Like last year was heavily mafia like based. It's bleeding in a little bit into this year as well. And then now apparently it's vampires. But yeah, there was a couple in the past. Like I think there is a Korean BL which is about a vampire, and I cannot for the life of me. I want to say it's called Kissable Lips, but I don't know if that's correct. So please don't crucify me if I'm wrong, people. But I know there is a vampire one that is a Korean version. And also I know there was one that wasn't really a BL, but it was like it had a male character, like was like the main kind of, I guess, focus of like the vampires, in that there was a female character who was kind of obsessed with this human, and then there was also a male vampire as well who was also, because the idea is that this particular human had like this special really rare blood, a bit like I guess a really good vintage of wine, they only are born every like
Special,
150 years.
own special kind of heroine.
Yeah. So, and the male vampire was just as interested in him as the female one, and it was like he was like, it doesn't really matter. Like for them, it's not really, sexuality isn't really a thing. It's like fluid. So that wasn't really a BL, but there was definitely like aspects of that. That was also a Korean, I believe. And I know there
Mhm.
was a Japanese one about two vampires, like, and what, like how they dealt with like COVID. And I started to watch a little bit of it, but it was pretty ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, which surprised me because Japanese stuff is usually pretty good. But I couldn't. It was just too. I couldn't suspend my disbelief. It was just too a bit
Mhm.
silly. It did beg the question, like if you were a supernatural creature like that, where you can't just go out and move freely because of like this big thing that was happening. How would that work?
Especially if you apply this idea that the vampires cannot enter a home uninvited. And during COVID, everyone was staying
Yeah, everyone was
at
like
home.
at home, like working from
Yeah.
home. Yeah, that was kind of the premise of it, is that people weren't leaving their houses, and
Uh,
so like they couldn't feed
they were
like
starving.
naturally.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I thought, wow, what an interesting, clever idea. And then I watched it and I was like, yeah. So unfortunately, it was just one of those things. But yes, it's very interesting that there are so many vampire BLs in the process of airing. Now, this one has actually already started, I believe. It's up on. I saw the first episode. When I say I saw the first episode, I haven't watched it. I saw that the first episode was up on Gaga Oola Lala, which is a streaming site if people don't know. And
How many
but I don't.
Lalas are there?
Geez, now you're testing me. I'd have to look at the app to know for sure. Gaga Oola Lala. I think there's three. It's really funny though to see like other, like I've seen some BL actors who are like advertising their shows that are on Gaga Ooh La La La, and they're trying to say it, and it's hilariously funny. It's not an easy one to say, but yeah. So at least the
La
first
la la.
episode is out. I don't know. There
I,
could be
I
more of it
googled it.
up.
I googled it. They're just two Lalas.
Is it? And how many did I say? Gaga Ooh La La La. I said three, I think. Yeah, Gaga Ooh La
But I
La.
prefer it. I prefer the way you say it. Just continue
Yeah,
saying.
I don't know. I say stuff wrong all the time. I feel like you have to just. I feel like with me, you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit as well.
With you
I have
and
to-
with me as well. And it's funny that we have a podcast and we're saying this, but it is what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just it's an interesting thing. But yeah, this one I believe, as I said, there's at least one episode already available, maybe more, I don't know. So yeah, should we watch the trailer and see what it's about?
Let's go watch the trailer.
Okay, cool. Hey.
What did I just watch?
It's so funny because I had to watch it again. But you know what? The whole time I was watching it, you know what it reminded me of?
What?
It has the vibe of I Will Knock You to it.
A little bit, yes, a little bit. I thought so too, especially at the scene in the end where they're all trying to prepare something, like I
Yeah.
guess the pork soup, blood soup,
Yeah. But
and
like the
it
way
didn't
that
major vibes.
yeah, the way the vampire talks, like really slow and like deliberate, and so I was, and it just had, even like the cinematography of it and everything, it just had
Uh-huh.
that colorful vibrancy to it that I Will Knock You has, but in like a kind of
Mhm,
classic way. And I thought, okay,
mhm.
I'm really, really curious. So I did a U and I looked it up, and the screenwriter director did I Will Knock You.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So even though like I was watching the trailer and I'm like, I'm not really sure this is for me, I was kind of a little bit excited because I love I Will Knock You. So
Uh-huh.
I was like, this is one that, like, from watching the trailer, I was like, I don't know. Although there were some moments in it that I thought was quite funny because I
Uh-huh.
sympathized with the vampire when he's just like, I can't die and I don't like the heat. I'm like, me neither, dude. Because for those of you who haven't worked it out yet, I live in Australia and it's freaking hot here, and I am not someone who likes summer. We have 9 months of summer and like 3 months of winter if we're lucky, and I would like it the other way around if possible. um
Mhm.
and so he's like, I don't like the heat or whatever, just really made me laugh a lot. I feel like there's going to be a droll humor to it and stuff, so I'm intrigued, even though the trailer didn't really do it for me. The things that made me that reminded me of I Will Knock You made me excited. So I have mixed feelings about this one because it was kind of a little bit all over the place for me.
This trailer is so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. What the hell is going on? Like, what? What? Okay, so it starts with him uh, with the umbrella and he's jumping off a rock. And the rock looked small to me. It did remind me of the moment from Twilight where Edward jumps off a rock. But then he falls and there's blood all over. And I'm like, this like, where did all the blood come from? Like, is this how you're trying to kill yourself? Jumping off like a 20-centimeter high rock?
I
What
feel
is going
like
on? What's
I
happened to
feel like
that
there's
umbrella?
yeah, I feel like there's meant to be some irony to it. Like I feel like there's just it
It's
had, as I said, it
comedy.
had
Yeah,
this vibe, yeah, where it's like super dramatic for no reason.
yeah. And then he has lots of umbrellas. I guess this is how he measures life. He keeps replacing umbrellas. Although it's a bit weird because when do you decide to get another one?
The thing with the umbrellas, and I really didn't pay that much attention to it, but now that you've brought it up, makes me wonder. There's two facets of it. Obviously, we don't know what the theory is behind this vampire. Like every like, I guess, vampire show has its own mythology in regards to,
Mhm.
can they go out in the sun? Are they just a little bit allergic? Will they catch on fire? Like there's all these different, the sun thing is a myth. They can totally walk in daylight. There's all these different like mythologies, and we don't know the mythology for this. So like he clearly is going out during the day, but like, does he usually have an umbrella? I wasn't actually paying that much attention, so now I'm not sure. So the umbrella could be, a way that he moves around because it avoids keeping the heat, or further extension of that, the sun off him. Like he may not be using it as a like rain umbrella, or the umbrellas could be like, he could buy a new one every time he feels like he wishes he could end his life. The fact that he
Mm-hmm.
jumped off holding one of the umbrellas and damaged it could be why he replaces them potentially.
Mm.
Which is quite dark when you think about it. They're having this like full-on expanse of like brightly colored umbrellas that makes it look really colorful and interesting, and they could all be like a really represent something actually very dark.
Mm. I
So
cannot take this seriously. I don't know. You know, I cannot.
yeah, well, I mean, I feel
It's
like
just
it's
like
one of
they
it.
kind of like took out all the fun aspects of being a vampire. Like, I mean, the even the moment like when the someone dies and they're like, oh my god, someone died, like they were beaten or something. But the music is like la 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 la. Like, what is fucking going on? What is this?
I'm totally
I
gonna
don't
watch
know.
this. I am totally gonna watch this because I'm like, as I said, I feel like, and this may be giving it way more credit than it's due, but and I will not say this enough, and people will probably get sick of me saying this, but I love I Will Knock You, and it when I first started watching it, I was like, what am I watching? But
So
it's
when I heard cute vampires exist too, I just snorted, like I just died. I just what? Just like for real, like
well,
vampires
there was the bit as well when they're sitting on the roof and he tells him he's a vampire, and obviously the main character's like, wait, what? No. But then he says something like, I can still like smell you in my heart, or something like that. I don't know what the line was, but it was something like that. And the human character's like, what the fuck? And I laughed really hard at that because it's like it was so creepy, but he was like so earnest in the way he said it. And once again, it reminded me of I Will Knock You, because the main character in that would say like really weird, strange stuff that
You know what?
only he.
I feel like the trailer is really, really weird, and the show is going to be very weird. But actually, I'm curious to see how they're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will most probably definitely watch this, because as I said, now that I know it's the screenwriter and the director is the same as I Will Knock You. As I said, there's a
Uh-huh.
lot of weird things about that. If people, you haven't watched it, you need to watch it and just kind of like go with it, because it's
Uh-huh.
very clever. There's all
Yeah.
these little things that you don't get what it really kind of means until the end, and
Mm.
like, but there's a lot of fun in that, and it doesn't take itself too seriously,
Yeah.
but it is also serious. um
Yeah.
there's a lot of lessons that are it's a cute, fun, you know, show, and I feel like this has that same vibe. So I'm very very curious, very very curious, and kind of a little excited actually, because you know, it's like when you discover something like that makes you super happy, like you have that with your An Incurable Case of Love, for example, and I have that with My Missing Kiss. I'm kind of
Yeah.
ashamed by it, but it also gives me this, like, when I watch it, I get this glee inside me that just makes me giddy and happy. And I have that
Mhm.
with I Will Knock You as well. And when you find something like that, like, as much as you can enjoy it and have the same vibe when you rewatch, you never quite have that same feeling as when you discover something like that for the first time. And it's just exciting. And it's like, wow, do other people know
You
about this?
cannot
Other people
believe it
should know
exists.
about
Yeah.
this, you know? And so
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this may not be anything like that. Like, I may be giving it way too much credit because of
Mhm.
the vibe it's given me, and because I know
Mhm.
that the person who created this other thing that I love is involved in it. So it may not live up to the hype that I'm giving it in my own brain, but I'm kind of a
Yeah.
little bit excited. Like, it's funny though, because as I was watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, Morella's going to be like, what the hell is this? So when you were like, what did I just watch? I cracked up laughing. Because I remember when I found I Will Knock You, I was like, Morella, I found this thing, Morella, you have to watch it. You have to, like, you know, just watch it. Like, just give it a
I
go.
feel like
Like,
this is one of those ones that I will need your assistance while watching it. I will need you like whispering good things into my ear all the time while I'm watching it. And this is how I'm going to have fun with it.
well, I mean, it's just one of those things. If I can get excited about it like the way I did I Will Knock You, you'll get like
Yeah.
1,000 messages from me just being like,
Looking forward.
So, and now that I know it's up on Gaga Ooh La La La, I don't want to say all the extra la's, but anyway, now that I know it's up there as well, I'm like, ooh, how many episodes are already up? So I'm kind of, I probably will wait until it's all there, I think, because I feel like it's one of those shows that would be better consumed all at once than waiting a week at a time.
Yeah.
It might lose me if I have to wait a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm weirdly excited, and it has absolutely nothing to really do with what the show is about, or
Yeah, yeah. I don't
the
know what to
trailer
say. Like,
yeah, the trailer
what happened in the
specifically.
trailer? I don't know what I can say about it. I'm lost of words. I don't know.
It's a bit weird. I feel like it's kind of a cute concept in that you've got this vampire. He doesn't want to live anymore. He hates his life. He hates being hot, which is kind of funny because he lives in Thailand where it's like always fucking hot. And he's there's no joy for him. Then he sees this beautiful boy and he's like, wow, okay, this could be my soulmate. I'm gonna write my own story, and I'm choosing my leading man, and he is it. You know, like without any consulting as to whether or not he wants to be that person for him. He's like, this is my person. Let me tell you my story. And he's this vampire that doesn't feed off humans from the sounds of things. Like, he literally only eats this one thing, which is like a pork blood soup or something. And the main character makes this and makes it really well, apparently. So that's part of probably his obsession with him, is that he makes this delicious thing that he can eat. And he's intrigued by him. So, like, for the first time in, we don't know how old he is, how many lives he's like lived or whatever, but he's interested in living again, whereas he was just depressed and ready to sort of end it all, and unfortunately not be able to end it all. So it's interesting in that respect. This idea of this vampire that doesn't feed off humans is always kind of intriguing. There was a cartoon when I was in high school, like an animation. It was called Count Duckula, I believe, and it was about, my mum and I were obsessed with it. We loved it so much. It's ridiculous because it's for kids. But he was a vegetarian vampire duck. And so he couldn't stand blood or anything. So I can't really remember how he didn't actually die, because, what kind of vampire lives off vegetables only. But there was this whole thing to it. But yeah, so it was just this whole idea of him not feeding, like this, but he's like, oh, but I'm a good vampire. Like, like, it's just, if someone said that to you, like, realistically, if you came face to face with a real vampire and they're like, oh, but I'm a good one,
He's a cute vampire. He's not a good. He's a cute vampire.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of a line from this is completely different genres here now. We're closing worlds, but there's a Arnold Schwarzenegger movie called True Lies, where he's a spy, and he gets caught and he's got truth serum, and his wife has found out that he's a spy, and she says to him, have you ever killed anybody? And he's like, yeah, but they were all bad. Just reminds me that, like, I'm a vampire, but I don't eat people. Like, you're totally safe. It's like, am I gonna believe that? Like, I don't know. Or am I gonna run in the opposite direction because you're a vampire? But it has as I said, it has this
It's
vibe
very
to it.
weird in a fun way. You're kind of it leaves you intrigued. You're so
Yeah.
confused. I don't want to know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, but it's funny though. Like, I feel like if I hadn't watched I Will Knock You, if this wasn't connected via the director screenwriter, then I would have watched this trailer and been like, what the hell? Like, this is totally not for me. So
This is what my reaction was at the beginning, and then I did think it reminded me of I Will Knock You exactly at the end scene, the last scene. I was like, wow, I Will Knock You.
Yeah.
And then you said it was directed by the same person, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now the weirdness kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, the same director, same screenwriter. So, like, and as I said, like, also the other, like, the two, it's funny, the end scene that you're talking about, yes, it reminds me of it too. But the main things that made me think of it were the way, like, the really careful kind of droll, slow way that the vampire talks, because that reminds me of the younger character in I Will Not I Will Knock You, where he
The older
is like
one.
very old fashioned
Oh,
and
okay.
like models himself on like old kind of gangster movies from the 70s. And so his language, the way he speaks, is not modern even. It's like, he's always saying these things to the other main character. Then he's just like, why are you, like, why are you like talking like this? When the show, when I Will Knock You first starts, like, I for real, for like the first 10 minutes of that show, thought it was set back. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because we get introduced to the first main character, and he is like, he has
Well, this
a
is what
walk.
they do to you on purpose.
Yeah. He
Sure.
has a Walkman, and it's all old fashioned. Like, everything is old fashioned, the music, everything. And then you get introduced to the other main character, and suddenly there are iPads and like whatever. And I'm like, oh no, he's just like a bit weird.
Weird.
And so like I got that weirdness from the vampire. Like, he has that
Mhm.
same kind of, I guess, like character to him, and then the
Imagine the
vibrancy.
cloud's a vampire, but also he kind of wants to die, and he
Yeah,
hates the god
yeah.
whoever, and he's bored.
Yeah, he's bored. He's just like, his life is boring. And it's interesting too, because both of the characters, both this character and also the one I'm referring to from I Will Knock You, their like main thing is that, like, Nui is the character I'm talking about from I Will Knock You. Both of them are like, they want like true love. Like, they're
Hmm.
looking for soulmates kind of thing. So they have that in common as well. But yeah, as I
Just,
said, there's this like
just as
kind
the
of,
heroes from the movies that the younger one is obsessed with.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Um and this idea, like, as I said, this color, this weird kind of like old fashioned kind of vibe, but colorful vibrancy, which is, it's funny because that's what I think of when I think of like Thailand. I think of like, you know really aromatic spices and like colorful markets, and like, obviously some of that is stereotypical, whatever, of what you see on TV and things like that. But that's kind of what I picture. And
Hmm.
they did a really good job of showcasing like how colorful and how beautiful Thailand is. I feel like in I Will Knock You, and I got the vibe of that from this as well a little bit. So these were the things that reminded me of it, and I just thought, it can't be right. And so I was like, I'm gonna do a little bit of research, and I got so excited. But as I said, like, based on the trailer itself,
It's
not
just like
like,
when I was watching Vice Versa, and then at some point I was like, oh God, it's giving me major dangerous romance feelings. And then I discovered that the screenwriters of Dangerous Romance also worked on Vice Versa, but Vice Versa had an additional one. Yeah, I know the feeling. I know what you're talking about.
yeah. So, and it's just, yeah, it's just an interesting kind of thing to experience when you actually see it, and you're like, wow, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I feel like as well, like, I Will Knock You was very clever. Like, the acting in that was very well done. There
Yeah.
should have been uh T, I think is his name, is the other character, and he should have been really annoying, and he wasn't. Um
Hmm.
Nui is like insanely likable, even though he's like complete nut job.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I feel like if they can make you love these like oddball characters, then I feel like, even though watching this, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I would be very interested to see how this pans out. So yeah, so it's definitely something I'm going to check out for sure. I'm curious to come back maybe at some point as well, and just like maybe comment on this, because like,
Hmm.
if we ever do a reaction for I Will Knock You, and that is my deepest wish, people,
Yeah.
and drag Marilla into that, um it's one of those things where, like, this is something I would love to know whether or not this it did live up to the hype that I'm giving it, based on
Hmm.
like the director and the feel versus the actual trailer, because this could be a good, I guess, metaphor for a bit like, don't judge a book by its cover, because sometimes the trailers don't always represent like what you're actually going to get, or what you're going to You know what I mean? Like, I remember seeing the trailer for I Will Knock You and not being that interested by it. I was like, oh, a new BL.
Mhm.
Like, but I wasn't really. I think I remember watching the trailer for that and being like, I have no idea what's going on right now.
Mhm.
And then it had been out for a really long time, and I was just looking for something to watch, and I came across it on one of the many streaming sites that I'm a member of. And I thought, oh, that's a possibility. And I thought, I'll just go and have a look. And I read some reviews on My Drama List. Not that I really pay attention to those because some of them are horrific on shows that I know are really good. But this was
Mhm.
unanimous. Like, I don't think I read a bad review. Like, everybody was like, oh my God. And I was like, this is really weird. Why is everybody so positive about this show? It's bizarre. So I thought I have to check
Mhm.
it out just based on that. Like,
Mhm.
it can't be that good. And yeah, I think it's just it's a show that maybe has flaws to it. Like, I know Morella didn't enjoy it as much as I do, or didn't become as obsessed about it as I did. But like, I don't know. Would you agree that it gave you a good feeling when you were watching it?
Of course, I did rewatch it, Zoe. I only rewatch those that I like a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So it gives you this vibe that kind of makes you happy when you're watching it. So that's why I would put it definitely in that category of those ones that you can rewatch and feel really like chill and relaxed and happy while you're like comfort
Yeah,
shows like we were talking about. Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's
this would be
definitely a
great
comfort
if I could add
show.
this one to that as well. That would be amazing. Like, I'm always looking to add ones that you could go back and rewatch. And I mean, there's so many around that you watch them and you're like, oh, I can't do this again.
Uh,
uh, they're definitely getting better. I feel like BLs are definitely getting better these days, and like shows in general. But every now
mhm.
and then you'll come across something and you'll just think, like, why did they bother? And then, so if you can find something that makes you like believe in, um you know that there's going to be good creative stuff.
Makes you less cynical
Yeah,
than you
that's
were before
right. Yeah, it
starting.
brings the joy
Yeah.
back. Because let's face it, like, I mean, I like watching serious dark stuff. Like, I love watching serious dark stuff. But even that has to be done well. You want it to
Yeah.
take us out of our normal like day-to-day grind, because we've all got something that doesn't that's not going right for us at one given time, whether it's personal or work or whatever, and you just need a friggin' break. Like, you need something to go right. So like, if you can put on the TV or like whatever, grab a book and just like immerse yourself in something that has absolutely nothing to do with you, even if you have to suspend your disbelief for a few hours and just enjoy it, then that's like gold. So I'm kind of hoping that this will be that. But yeah, I can't say that I'm basing that off the trailer, if I'm being
No.
fair. So
So I guess this is it.
it is.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Follow us on Twitter, on Tumblr, on Spotify. Send us ask, interact with us. Goodbye for now.
Bye.